Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We move on to part 4 of Missing Amy Bradley. And this is a bit basically copied by Bent Knives, a TikToker. Do go and subscribe to her. And it's Kirk detweiler, the cruise director. And he was the one that said that he's not going to stop people leaving the ship just because there is Amy Bradley was missing at the time. Let's get straight into this.
Gentlemen, welcome to Curacao, the Gateway. Yeah, I've said it. Stop everybody's cruise because there were some. That's one family's unfortunate incident. Still had 2,400 people who paid a lot of money. That sounds, that's reality. Remember, very nice, very chill, good guy. No bad thoughts about, no bad experiences with. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, dancing with the. And what he knew, being a proud Royal Caribbean employee, it was just kind of breaking. We're accused of, the wrongdoing or not doing our job properly or not caring business to run.
You do realize if you had quit your job the next day, you would have been replaced instantly, right? You realize that you are not the founder of Royal Caribbean, right? You're an employee that put a corporation above a human life. It's capitalist cucks like you that make things like this be able to happen.
I've concluded that conspiracy theories about Amy Bradley are BS. I think she jumped, and I just think it's grasping at straws. Family that's not facing reality.
Multiple eyewitness accounts over the years photographed that forensics experts concluded was Amy, but you've concluded for us. All right, great. Thank you. Case closed. Kirk, the cruise director, decided that the case is closed. He's either somehow involved or just a complete fucking jackass. It makes me so fucking angry. Get fucked. Get fucked. Get fucked. And I fucking hope you don't have kids. I really do.
Someone says in the chat that he sounds like he hates women. I thought it was complete out of order when I first heard it. It's on the Netflix where he's in and out of the documentary saying things which are not helpful, to be honest with you. I think he did have the power to search the boat more thoroughly, which he didn't do, which many people said, and including the family, his brother in the interview, which I'd done the other day in part 3 and part 2. And I just think it was a bit of a shit show, to be honest with you. And like I said, he could have let the passengers off. She could have been wrapped up in something or put in something to get off there, or had gone off in uniform or anything as pretending to be stuff. Anything could have happened there, which is bizarre. I got a funny feeling he was in on it. And what I did know, he actually made a song which has got double meanings as well some years later. I'm just going to read some of the comments. I'm sorry, what he did he just say? The way he acts and talks during the series was just weird. He didn't seem to care. Makes you think he knew something, what was going on. Of course he did. He was protecting someone. And like I said, he was probably turning a blind eye to people in and out their cabins, sleeping with people, basically on board, which I think it had been going on for quite some time, and turning a blind for it. He wasn't doing his job properly, and he certainly wasn't going to take the blame for Amy. Going to move on to part 2, people. Very strange, this song at the end of that. I didn't even know. I'm still quite new to this case, to be honest with you. I remember it years ago, and when obviously my mum and that and my sister's brother were looking at it, and very, very strange case. But like I said, this Kirk detweiler actually done. Is he trying to tell us something, drunk girl? Let's have a listen to this. This is by Bent Knives.
The Capitalist Cup cruise director has an album out on Apple Music. And it's called Shades of Wrong. It was released in the year 2000, and one of the songs is called Drunk Girl. And it's about him finding a wasted girl and taking advantage of her. And I'm sure if you heard me say that, he would say, "You're overreacting. It was just a good time." Because that's exactly the type of man that he is, and we all clocked it in that docuseries. I'm not saying this is about Amy Bradley. I'm just saying this proves my point. Please, for the love of God, look Look into this man. Anyway, here's the fucking song. Don't stream it. He's a narcissist. He'll love that.
See the pretty girl slipping off the stool there. And she's on her 17th Bud Light. If I play my cards just right, she's coming home with me tonight. She's my little drunk and disorderly girl.
Very strange. Very, very strange guy. Really, I didn't know he made a song, but like I said, is he trying to tell us something? It's good to know out. I just basically sort of stumbled on this. Damn, I paused to listen to it, and he's going to know people are listening. Is that him basically saying that, you know, he's got away with a lot while he was basically managing a ship? MJ says, I'm fully convinced he was on it with Yellow. I think there was a lot of organised crime. At the end of the day, it speaks for itself, especially his attitude, which is very, very bizarre. Let me know what you think, people, because like I said, it's amazing what is all coming out all these years later. Move on to part 3, people, which was quite some crucial timelines, and the eyewitness, and there's a name for it as well, which is very, very important. So it's just clips I'm going to play because I obviously don't want these videos to go on for like 30 or 45 minutes because it is quite long. So I'm going to just do them for under 50 minutes because there is lots of bits to understand in this case as well. Let's get straight into this. This is by Arcane.
Around 5:30 a.m., Amy's father, Ron, briefly woke up and stepped outside to check on her. He saw her sleeping in the lounge chair on the balcony. The sliding door was closed. Everything seemed normal. But when Ron woke again around 6 o'clock a.m., Amy was gone. Her sandals and a t-shirt were still on the balcony floor, but there was no sign of Amy. Ron quickly searched the ship. No one had seen Amy. Alarmed, the family alerted ship security. They begged the crew to make an emergency announcement and prevent passengers from disembarking in Curacao. The ship had already docked by that time, but by the time any action was taken, most passengers had already left the ship. The delay in securing the area, nearly 90 minutes, would prove critical. As the investigation unfolded, multiple passengers and crew members came forward with strange and disturbing accounts. One passenger, Lori Thompson, said she saw Amy walking on the upper deck early that morning, between 5 and 6 a.m.
Don't forget, it was Yellow who said when he left the club after 1 p.m. and obviously Amy went back to her room, that was it. He didn't go out again. But I do believe that this Kirk, the director of the cruise, was allowing people to go out, and he was probably doing it himself. And this is why there was so much of a cover-up. Because, like I said, one, they didn't want to lose their jobs. And two, I think there was organised crime and trafficking going on. I really, really do think that. You know, there's just too much suspicion with the people actually working. And like I said, and there are private messages which are quite kind of crucial to this case to tell us, you know, what sort of went on there.
Accompanied by Yellow, the cruise ship musician she had danced with the night before. Moments later, Lori claimed she saw Yellow return alone. Even more unsettling, Brad, Amy's brother, recalled that shortly after her disappearance, Yellow approached him and said, "I'm sorry about your sister." At that point, the disappearance hadn't been publicly announced.
Very, very strange. Really, really strange. At the end of the day, if there's something not suspicious there, then there's something wrong. At the end of the day, I think, like I said, the family should have demanded that people didn't go off that boat. I know they did, but like I said, I think it was to obviously get Amy, to actually get Amy off the boat. At the end of the day, maybe, like I said, she was drugged or something, and this is why they didn't want the family to find her. It's a possibility. I think this could prove very, very crucial to this case. And it was Amy's brother, Brad, well, his nickname is Brad, who actually put this up at the end of the day. And it was a complaint against Yellow. And obviously, so a lot of people must have been maybe too scared to speak up about obviously things that were happening on the ship or things they saw. But like I said, due to obviously the documentary, I think it's made people all these years come forward where they feel more confident to do so. And obviously these people now are a lot older, and probably some of them are past as well. Let's get straight into this.
Her brother posted these two updates on July 21st, 2025, so just 2 days ago. The first one reads, "I'll leave you with this tonight before I go to bed." This was posted on a cruise critic board on March 6th, 1998. Unfortunately, we didn't find it until after we came home without Amy. So much injustice. This was posted Friday, March 6th, 1998 at 9:41 Eastern Time. It states, "If you meet someone called Yellow, stay away. I have met another woman he dropped the same line on, bass player in the band Blue Orchid." And he also posted this. This was sent to FBI agent Bryant about a girl's reported incidents regarding incidents with Yellow 2 weeks prior before Amy Bradley's cruise. Could it be any more obvious? Yellow asked this girl to meet at 6 a.m. at the same spot he met Amy. She was lucky she brought a friend with her, or I believe he would have done the same thing. And this looks like it was posted on July 29th, 1999. It's hard to see what that actual date is up there, but here's what it states. Stated that she will talk to you concerning the information that she has about Alistair Douglas, that's Yellow's real name, while she was on the cruise ship the week of March 7th to March 14th, 1998. She met Yellow and spent time with him. She was traveling on the ship with 14 other people, including her father. She got off in St. Thomas Port alone with Yellow. During the cruise, he asked her to go to his cabin with him. Even though he told her it was against the ship's rules, he took her and a friend down there anyway. He also asked her to meet him around 6 a.m. at the Viking Crown Lodge on the upper deck one morning, because he wasn't supposed to be seen with passengers and there was no security people there. So
I think that was a meeting place, and I think this is kind of crucial to this case. And like I said, I think this is why I think Alistair is a little bit shady, and I think even his daughter, who at the moment he doesn't really get on with over this case, had realised that there's so many dots and so many complaints against his name and people still coming forward. I think he got away with a lot, to be honest with you. I think he had a way with women. I think he was very, very smooth, and I think he liked to get people drunk, have a good time. And some people would just go with him naturally because it was just fun and a good time. But I do think, like I said, he was involved in something. I think a few people were on that ship and received backhanders and stuff. There was something going on which I can't put my finger on, but I just don't think it was good, to be honest with you. And like I said, all these witnesses coming forward, I just think it's just too much of a coincidence.
That he could exchange phone numbers with her. She took a girlfriend and met him there. There was another woman who approached her one evening at the disco who asked if she was attracted to Yellow. And it's hard to see what that next word is because that line's through it. And she looks like said no, said why. The woman said she wanted to know because she was also a passenger and she had been having sex with him all week. Yellow called Melissa, that's what that word is, and Melissa.
That's what I mean. I think back then, I know people went on cruises and had a good time. It was drunk, getting party, eating good food, enjoying yourself. It's like a holiday, but, actually on the ship. Do you know what I mean? And people enjoyed themselves to the max. And like I said, I think the staff enjoyed themselves. and I think got away with a hell of a lot when they were supposed to be back in their cabins. They were partying, and they would know the spots to meet people at the end of the day where they weren't going to get caught out. And like I said, I think this Kirk, being the director, I think he let a lot slip at the end of the day, because like I said, he wanted to keep his job. And if he got to lie about it, and Yellow's got to lie about it, so things don't come on top, I think they would, you know.
Melissa. Yellow called Melissa once she returned home a week after Amy disappeared, and he was extremely upset. She could barely understand anything he said. His British accent was very thick. He said something about a tragedy, accident, that he was being questioned. And that he was being questioned. He told her that the ship had been unloaded of all the crew members and searched entirely when she asked if he was involved. We know this did not happen. She felt that his behavior wasn't normal. She said that she would have thought under the circumstances that if he wasn't involved, that he would have been, I can't pick out that word, not extremely upset and crying. She lost contact with him at that point. She said she is afraid of him. So those are two reports about Yellow, Alistair Douglas, about allegedly being involved with other members of Tours on the cruise ship. I mean, if these reports are indeed true, it definitely seems like something that should have been looked into, or possibly was looked into, but her brother is posting all this information now.
I'm going to leave it there, people. That was by New Scott. I just want to do these videos under 20 minutes because there's a lot to go through. Someone says he's involved in percent. Please watch Brad's interview for more clarifications. I have put Brad's interview on there. It's very, very deep. And you can tell the love he's got for his sister and his family. Yellow's is 100% involved, and other staff management of the Royal Caribbean are at the time. Firstly, Yellow's closeness with Amy and other women who had complained about Yellow's ill intent. I agree. According to Yellow, his accounts at the time are way off. He stated he was on deck with Amy around 1 a.m, but decided to turn in an eyewitness said Yellow and Amy around 2 to 3:30. He knows more than he's letting on. Yeah, definitely. What I'm worried is he said to his daughter that he continued to work for the crew line for several more years. Is that true? Didn't the family file a wrongful death suit and it was dismissed? Why? Who was that judge? Where did that take place? There's a giant cover-up, and that slimy cruise coordinator, we need to keep deep diving him as well. Yeah. How many other companies have covered for, and he works at the theatre with young ladies? Maybe. WTF. Someone says, I went to Jamaica in 1980. I was living bartender in Goldport, Miss. I was invited by an old man that owned a dive bar I worked in. Says he goes all there all the time, takes other girls' employees. No big deal. Now I'm not like a normal chick in from Cali, and it was constantly swimming, climbing, surfing, kayaking, etc. I would come to the bar and get a drink and say hi, but wasn't around much. I did, however, make friends with the female employees and would go dancing at the night. Rough shacks. My point is, I was the only tourist around that wasn't there. To either do coke or sex. No joke. The Caribbean cesspool. When I got older, I realised my boss was running drugs and would bring girls with him to cover. Who knows? Maybe they put it in my bag. I was naive. I only know what Netflix says. The witnesses seem like they're telling the truth. I think he should be investigated more than they have already. I always think, my point is why didn't he come forward earlier and say something, come out himself? It was quite bizarre, to be honest with you. I know he gave a few interviews, but like I said, I think he's kind of shocked how big this case really, really is and what people think of it. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. Let me know what you think of what the witnesses said and everything that we've talked about on the missing Amy Bradley case. Thank you.